Shalom, loved ones. My name is Troy Cady, and I invite you to join me now as I offer midday prayers with PlayWell communities. PlayWell is a faith network of those who are learning to live by the unforced rhythms of grace. To help us keep time to the rhythm of God's heartbeat and the movement of God's love, we like to pause to pray at various times throughout the day when we are able. In today's time of prayer, I will feature a reading from the excellent book Exclusion and Embrace by Miroslav Volf. In his last chapter, he speaks to the phenomenon and the destruction of violence in our society. And he offers some words to help us break the cycle of violence by looking to the cross of Jesus. These words are especially important for us to reflect upon in light of the recent attempt on former President Trump's life at a political rally in Pennsylvania. It is important for us as Christians to resist revenge and the violence that plagues our world. And Miroslav Volf, theologian at Yale Divinity School, offers us some insights on how we may resist the temptation for revenge and the increasing use of violence in our society to get our way. Well, with that, let's get ready. We light this candle as a reminder that Christ, the light of the world, is present with us. Listen to the words of Jesus from Matthew chapter 11 as translated by Eugene Peterson in the Message. Jesus says, "Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace." In the middle of the day, we return to you, Jesus, our center. In you we live and move and have our being. Like parched souls searching for a spring, we thirst for you and your ways. With joy, we draw water from the wells of your salvation. Let's take some moments of silence now to just rest, breathe, be present. is a confession that reminds us of who we are. Important to stay grounded in our core identity. And this confession helps us to do that. After each line, I'll leave a pause so that you can either say this aloud yourself or just savor the words in your heart as a way of making it your own. Let's join together now. I believe that I am God's beloved child. I am learning to let God's love fill my heart, to let it shape my life. So I may be just who God has made me to be, nothing more and nothing less. That I may abide in love and share God's love with all that I am. Amen. What is a Christian posture towards the phenomenon of violence? The Christian looks to the cross of Christ for our cues when it comes to either wielding violence or responding to it. In his book, Exclusion and Embrace, Yale theologian Miroslav Volf highlights this light, the way forward in the cross of Christ to respond to violence in redemptive ways. Here are his words from the last chapter in his book. He writes, "The cross breaks the cycle of violence. Hanging on the cross, Jesus provided the ultimate example of his command to replace the principle of retaliation, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, with the principle of non-resistance. If anyone strikes you on the right cheek, turn the other also. By suffering violence as an innocent victim, he took upon himself the aggression of the persecutors. He broke the vicious cycle of violence by absorbing it, taking it upon himself. He refused to be sucked into the automatism of revenge, but sought to overcome evil by doing good, even at the cost of his life. Jesus' kind of option for nonviolence had nothing to do with the self-abnegation in which I completely place myself at the disposal of others to do with me as they please. It had much to do with the kind of self-assertion in which I refuse to be ensnared in the dumb redoubling of my enemy's violent gestures and be reshaped into their mirror image. No, the crucified Messiah is not a concealed legitimation of the system of terror, but its radical critique. Far from enthroning violence, the sacralization of Christ as victim subverts violence. We commit to you the work that is done and the work that is yet undone. May your beauty rest upon us, Lady Wisdom. We trust you will complete the incomplete. We believe you will finish what you started. May we meet you on the road with us, Brother Jesus. As we labor, be our resting place. Please make our work restful and our rest fruitful. May we remain present to your presence, Great Spirit. Now receive this blessing from Saint Teresa de Avila. Let nothing disturb you, nothing affright you. All things are passing. God never changes. Patient endurance attains to all things. Whom God possesses, in nothing is wanting. Alone, God suffices. Amen. Amen. Well, thank you for joining me today in PlayWell prayers in the middle of the day, midday prayers with PlayWell communities. Hope you have a good rest of the day and a good week. And let's all commit to living as peacemakers as best we can with whatever abilities we have. Above all, be loved because you are beloved.